Hi guys, and welcome to Tech Tricks tutorial. Today we are going to talk about our generative AI tool in Photoshop and how to use it. It's a step-by-step guide to follow easily, and if you find this tutorial helpful, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Now let's dive right in. So what we are going to do is we're going to simply select a photo first. Say for example, I would like to try to change the background and some elements in this specific photo that I have. And we are going to use the generative AI tool in order for us to do this. So first, I actually clicked on a selection tool here in the right hand side of our Photoshop beta. By the way, guys, the generative fill is only available in your Photoshop beta and not the regular Photoshop application that we do have. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background of the picture first. So this is actually an alley. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on select subject, which is located in the upper corner of our menu tab above. Now, when you click on select subject, you will see that it will progress and you just need to wait for it to load basically. So the loading process may take some time, especially if the memory of your laptop is not really that big. So as much as possible, use a higher spec laptop or a laptop that has a bigger memory. Now let's wait for it. So after it has loaded, what you're going to do next is to click on right click, and then we are going to invert the selection, and then afterwards you can click on generative fill after, and then here instead of the alley I'm going to make it a mountain, and this is how it looks like basically. Right, and here in the right hand side under properties you can actually see variations, and there you can see different kinds of variations of the mountains that you could choose as a background from Photoshop. If you want more generations or more options, and if you're not yet satisfied with the mountain variations that Photoshop has given, then you can simply regenerate by clicking on generate again. All right, so I'm just gonna make use of our third variation right here. All right, so there you have it. Now, since we have already selected our chosen background, what we're going to do next is to change the person's wear, or what he is wearing basically. So this time here in the left hand side you can actually see a toolbar. I'm going to click on the lasso tool, and right there I'm going to simply change what this man is wearing from a suit and tie to a hiking attire. So let's do that one. All right, so there we have our lasso tool ready, and what I'm going to do is to simply outline the wear, or what he is wearing. So you need to be very careful with this process. So as you can see, I have already omitted a mistake on this one. So since I have committed a mistake, I'm just going to simply undo it, or undo the action by clicking on Control Z on my laptop, and then I'm just gonna simply redo selecting the areas that I would like to change. All right, so there you have it. Now what you're going to do next is you can simply right click and hit on generative fill, or you could also write your prompt here in the right hand side under your properties section. But I'm going to simply click on right click and hit on generative fill, and I'm simply gonna type in camping attire, or camping t-shirt and shorts there, and hit on generate. Now what we're going to do is to simply wait for the generation to load. So in my experience with Photoshop beta, they actually give 3 variations, and in some circumstances they give even more, but as of now I only get at least 3. Okay, so here's our first camping attire. Doesn't really look great, so let's try to look for the other variations that Photoshop has given. So here is our second one. Let's try to check it out. Right, so this actually looks better, but since there was a corner that we did not input, or we were not able to remove from the suit, it would actually show up. And this one is actually the best one that we could actually get from Photoshop Beta. Okay, now what we can do next is we're going to add another element that is not present, which is a cap. So say for example, I'm going to draw it right here on top of his head, and you just need to outline a cap basically. So here I'm going to simply go and right click, or you could also go to the right hand side again and input your prompt in the box. Okay, so here let's have generative fill and hit on generate afterwards. So as you can see, we are still waiting for the generation to be processed. All right, so here are actually like the different kinds of baseball hat. It doesn't really look that nice, and this is not the baseball cap that I was actually expecting. So I'm just gonna simply undo this one by clicking on Control Z again, and I'm going to simply select the section where I want to put the baseball cap on. So say for example this area right here, and I'm going to type in the prompt baseball cap and hit on generate afterwards. All right, so there you have it. So here we actually have 1, 2, and the third baseball cap. That actually depends on you which one you would choose. Just select from the variations under your properties section. All right, okay, let's move on. Now, another section that I would want to change is actually the mustache. So instead of this mustache, I want to remove this one, and let's try inputting no mustache
So
as
as
a
you can
prompt.
see under
So
the
click on
variation,
generate and let's see if it actually
not
works
working.
or if
So
it doesn't. I'm going
doesn't.
to regenerate again, and instead of no mustache, I'm gonna put remove mustache, and let's see whether or not there's a difference. All right, so as you can see, it's actually still the same. So it doesn't really entirely remove the mustache. It just gives you different kinds of variations of like the mustache and how it looks like on him. So I'm just gonna choose from one of them, and I'm gonna make use of that one. All right, and let's move on to the next one. Another thing that I would actually want to input is I'm gonna put a dog into the background or into the picture. So I'm just gonna outline a photo or like an outline of a dog basically here in the left hand side of this guy, and I'm just simply typing in prompt dog here and hit on generate. Now let's wait for the generation to load, basically. All right, so here's our first option. Now what I want to do is I'm gonna click on the third option, which is actually I think is the best one. There we also have another one. I'm gonna have this white dog right here. All right. And basically, that's how you can use your Photoshop AI generative fill in Photoshop. So from this picture that we have a while ago, we actually created a guy who has been into the mountains, and we also changed and tweaked some of the photos or elements on the photo, basically. And that's about it for today's video, guys. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and thank you so much for watching.